Foodie Beauty went live on October 14th. She called her live stream bruh. She says that she looked like a total hose bag in her new profile picture, which was a baby picture from when she was about 2 years old. She spends a lot of time greeting chat. She says she's getting excited about her first grocery order in Canada. She and Salah are feeling sick. She complains that when Salah is sick, he's only sick for like a day, but when she's sick forever. She said that he went to a clinic and got a shot of something and feels better now. She has no idea what the shot is. Someone sends her a super chat asking why she stopped doing mukbangs and cooking on cam. She replies that using the camera while live streaming makes the internet connection worse. Also, she would have to put on a hijab, but she will try to get back to that one of these days. She says she's just not feeling mukbangs there in Syria. I wonder why. She confirms again that she's going back to Canada at the end of the month. Beezer Strawberries has her dreaming about mac and cheese and steak bites from Arby's. She launches into a story about a struggle meal. Buckle up. She says Salah is sick, so she's not going to send him out for food, but all she had in the house was a little bit of short grain rice. And also some ghee, carrots, onion, shallots, chicken stock, seasoning, salt, and sugar. Oh, and tomato paste, but not much else. So that's what she made them. So that's all she had, is just a bowl of rice. She says that she saw a new flavor of Doritos while she was looking at apps to pre-plan her first grocery order. Wait for it. Pizza and Cool Ranch flavor combined. She discusses her baby picture again and waxes poetic about how much hair she used to have. She confirms that her hair under this hijab is very thin on top. Note, it was hijab all day today, not a single hijab, so I don't know what that was. One of her beezers says that she's had those new Doritos. Foodie asks her how good they were. One of her beezers says that she looks like she was a biter as a child. Foodie giggles and says she looks like she had buckwheat teeth. I'm assuming buck teeth? Chat asks what she was thinking in her profile pic. She says she doesn't remember. Chat says there's probably a packet of Dunkaroos being shaken behind the camera like a bag of cat treats. She giggles. She tries to get back to describing the dream she had about Arby's mac and cheese with steak bites, but strangely, she says she's never dreamed of nashies. She asks one of her beezers if they were ever taught the different versions of the word your, as in your or you are versions. Then chat brings up the differences between there, and there, definitely and defiantly. Addicting is not a word, it's addictive. She says that her biggest grammar error ever used to be saying by purpose instead of on purpose because she grew up speaking French. Somebody brings up Flintstone's push-up pops. She says that this is new news to her. She remembers that they had vitamins, but not push-ups. She attempts speaking her native language, French, to her chat, and then she says that was her first language as someone from Quebec, but if you don't use it, you lose it. This, of course, runs the chat into French fries, and her favorite place to get French fries. Someone tells her that D'Angelo dies. She does not know who this is. She sings the song Gotta Be by Desiree. Somebody says that they're getting ready to fly to Japan, and asks if Foodie has any long flight advice. She groans, and then says that their best bet is to try to go tired so they can just sleep on the plane, and only woke up when they hear the stewardess say, chicken or beef? She doesn't want to talk about politics, she says. It just makes her mad. She then immediately launches into a political diatribe. She says, quote, I don't give a fuck if they put a ceasefire in place, end quote. She then says, quote, I want Netanyahu to be hung for the war crimes he has committed. End quote. I mean, I would commend her for standing up for her beliefs or literally anything, but we all know that Foodie avoids standing at all costs. She's not done, because of course she isn't. She says she doesn't want to talk about politics. Then she calls Netanyahu a word in Arabic that I do not know and a war criminal. Katy Perry is cringe. It's as random as it feels. She says she's come up with a design for her streaming room in her new apartment. She's going to get a partition to block off the view from her bedroom window for streaming. She already has this partition picked out. She says it has a nice curtain. Then she'll have her bed and a side table and some ambient lighting, a ring light, and some comfy, cozy, aesthetic bedding. She plans on setting something up in the background of the kitchen so that she can film there too without doxing herself. She's again asked when she's going to Canada. There's a bit of a hesitation and then she says, yeah, at the end of the month probably. She says she shouldn't show the windows, the cabinets, the door frames, etc. because again, she might dox herself. Chat says that she should get a huge green screen. She says she will have a rolly chair. She already has one picked out. It goes up to 500 pounds. Planning for the future, I guess. Says she doesn't care if anyone sees her scootering in the streets. She kind of sings Riding Dirty. She vehemently
rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty.
refuses getting another camera that will follow her. She says she's going to make a virgin Caesar. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's the drink. She claims that she will do everything she can not to show anything distinctive in her home. Press F to doubt. Chat asks her what she did today. She says, well, Salah got sick, so he went to get a shot. So she took care of him today. And then she cooked and she cleaned. Then his aunt and his cousin came over. Quote, they know he's sick, but they chose to come anyway. End quote. There seems to be some drama between Beezer Tracy and Beezer Earnbrew in chat. She describes a chicken soup that she made at some unknown point. She says it was so good. Again, she does not specify when she made this soup. She's just talking about a soup she made. She's stunned that a Beezer has has never had chicken a la king. She then sings chicken a la king weirdly. She says the glass
I know she's seducing my man with a chicken tetrazzini.
is still in her toe. She wants to go to Costco when she gets back to Canada, but it's expensive. She confirms she'll be coming back at the end of the month again. She pays some lip service to being so sad about never seeing Salah again. She says she loves raspberries. She asks if Amberlynn even has mods in her stream and is surprised that ALR doesn't do videos anymore. She was not impressed by Charlie Hunnam as Ed Gein. She says he sounded like Mickey Mouse. She says ALR doesn't have a tight group of Beezer-type followers in her lives, and she's lucky that she does. She's stunned and very jealous that ALR has about 3,000 people in her chat during a live. She says she's going to budget at least $100 for just Nashies when she first gets there. She plans to only eat Nashies for a full month. She's convinced that Burger King is bringing it back for her. It can't be a coincidence, she says. It's been 3 years since they had Nashies. They stopped selling Nashies shortly before she went to the Middle East, and now that she's coming back, now they're bringing it back? She says they owe her. Do they know how many people have bought a Nashi just to try it because of her? But she acknowledges that she's too messy and they will never sponsor her. She sings, she'll be buffering around the mountain when she comes. She wants to get an air fryer, but she thinks she'll put it on her wish list. She sings, she'll be ordering 65 Nashies when she comes. Someone suggests a Ninja air fryer. She says she wants an aesthetic air fryer, not just boring black. Chat tells her Drew Barrymore has a line of cute appliances. She plans on getting an espresso machine for some reason. She kind of sings Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. She randomly tells Julia that she will miss her. She randomly sings On Top of Old Nashi, all covered in sauce. She says she's looking forward to the TV show Welcome to Derry. She tries to brainstorm with chat how she could possibly get Julia with her in Canada in the future. There's a bit of a boom in the background. She says she thinks it's a grenade. She says she feels guilty leaving Salah there by himself. She asks if anyone has seen the horror movie His House. I've seen it. It's good. Give it a try. It's on Netflix as of right now. She says Salah probably doesn't realize how bad it's going to be for him once she's gone, and he's probably going to miss her as soon as she's gone. Someone brings up her old romance technique. If I could only get in his house. She giggles. She claims she'll miss Julia so bad, but she's getting really excited to go back to Canada. She wasn't a fan of the movie Sinners. That's because she's an idiot. Sinners was great. Someone in chat has a pet boa. Foodie asks if they cuddle the boa. She reiterates all the reasons it's dangerous for her to try to take Julia with her. She claims to spoil her. She says she's going to make sure that Salah spoils her when she's gone. She says that she annoys Salah by telling him to look at Julia every second. She says she tells him it's a test. When he looks at her, he must immediately launch into baby talk like she does. I was going to imitate it. Honestly, what cat owner doesn't know that kind of baby talk, but I can't. She says she's trying to train him to be a crazy cat dad. She says Julia isn't the most cuddly cat. She talks about the cat she abandoned for Kuwait. She says she hates her tattoos. She says there's something wrong with her head. She thinks she might have fractured it. She says she might really need a scooter even when she's not fat. Chat asks her if it's a bursitis or sciatica. She says no. She's convinced she's fractured her hip. She wanders off under the pretense of getting a drink. She's gone for 7 minutes. She returns with sunflower seeds, chocolate, cold water, and shisha. Chat says the chocolates were supposed to be for guests. She says she's a guest. She says she's allowed to sit on the furniture. She says they pretty much eat the same food every day. She vaguely mentions trans issues. I'm not even gonna get into it. She says she was watching the TV show Are You Afraid of the Dark? Shockingly, she's never heard of the candy Mr. Goodbar. She doesn't remember a chocolate shop in her old mall in Cornwall. A Beezer assures her there is one. She discusses some maker that has butterscotch suckers. She says she misses Beezer Teardrop. She says an advantage to wearing a hijab is that she doesn't get hit on. The hijab is why she doesn't get hit on. She doesn't get hit on because of the hijab. Okay. There's lots of lip smacking, crunching, eating, smoking sounds. You're welcome. I cut it all out. She's asking Beezers how they discovered her. She asks if anyone has ever had a Red Baron pizza and if they are any good. She wants to make a French bread pizza. She says she doesn't like artisan pizza. She likes goat cheese pizza. She liked Little Caesars pizza. She also likes feta cheese. She wants someplace called Pizza with garlic dip. The lights are on and it sounds like Salah is up. She loved the barbecue ranch dip from somewhere in Canada. She likes paneer, but she's not as obsessed with it as she used to be. She wants some jalapeno dip. She doesn't like jalapeno cheese on pizza. She sings Another One Bites the Dust. She hates Papa John's. Their garlic dip is gross. She says she needs to quit smoking because the hookah is really pissing her off. So not for health reasons, just okay. She's not stressed about the move because she doesn't really have anything to move. She says using butter as a dipping sauce is gross. She says the most stressful thing is coordinating her bed delivery for when she's there. She might just borrow an air mattress. She knows someone who has a heavy-duty air mattress. She says we need more fat/plus-size clothing stores. She can't wait to go to Pennington's. She sings, My hips don't lie, they're starting to crack and cry. She says that Hot Topic reminds her of all of Amberlynn's girlfriends. She wishes that Canada had a Ross. She says she needs to go to the washroom, but now she's afraid of seeing a slug. She says they annoy her because she has to bleach everything after. She says she loved having a husband, but it's very hard work, too many challenges. She will miss feeling taken care of. She doesn't regret it, but she's happy to get out of it. She says that she feels old and out of place there. She says they're at a fork and they want to split amicably. She says it feels like the right time to end it. And we get a time check. It is 2:22 a.m. Chat says she has to do what makes her happy. She says going to Walmart to buy hamburger helper in her scooter at midnight is what makes her happy. She's getting tired finally. She says she used to really like the Pauly Shore movie Son-in-Law. Someone says they watched her first Salah video and how she looked so in love. She laughs it off and says she was, and now she's not. Someone says, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Foodie says, true that. She says it was an exciting time going to Kuwait, getting married. It was fun. She's comforted to know that he'll exist somewhere else on the planet. She says she's not going to deal with the glass in her toe. She can feel it, but she's too scared. Chat tells her that her foot won't just absorb it. She's very surprised by this. A beezer tells her to wrap bacon around it. Oh, I figure if I walk around long enough, it'll just absorb into the toe, right? That's a direct quote, guys. She confirms it hurts a little. She does that baby whine. She just wants to leave it. It hurts too bad, and it scares her to mess with it. Chat is much more concerned about the glass splinter than she is. She asks if she should have Salah take it out on livestream. She says no one is touching it unless she's on morphine. Out of nowhere, she says she hates the movie Wicked. She hates Ariana Grande. She hates Wicked, and she hates Taylor Swift. She says she's 41. She lists all of her ailments. Fractured hip, knees are done, limp, sleep apnea, asthma, diabetes, morbid obesity. She says she has to get a grip. She's 41 and still a child. Fucking true that. She confirms she's 5'1". She sings about cottage cheese. She hates therapy, but she wishes a beezer luck with theirs. Her hip and limp is really bothering her. She's excited the government electricity has been on all night. She thinks because it's been getting cold. She says she's trying to soak up these last moments with Salah and Julia in Syria because it will all be over in 2 weeks. She says Vyvanse is like legal meth. She hated being on it. Chat brings up ketamine therapy. She says she was on ketamine as a painkiller once. She's falling asleep. She wants to do longer streams, but there's nothing to do there. And she's gone. Friendos, that was just over 2 hours of Foodie's riveting content, cut down to just under 12 minutes. Thank you for your comments and eyeballs on my last video. I'm still working out mic issues. I've got a lot to catch up on this weekend.